Hello, my name is Shawn Buckley. I'm a volunteer with the National Citizens Inquiry, and we are very, very excited about our upcoming May 30th, 31st, and June 1st hearings. But as you'll hear, we need a lot of help from you in promoting them. But first, the excitement. We have some expert witnesses coming, and some that have insisted on traveling a long distance. This is a big commitment to travel to Regina, some traveling from the States. It's a couple of days even just in travel, but they want to be there in person. They're excited about even just the atmosphere and what happens at the NCI when we're holding a hearings day, and they want to get the word out. They've got important information to share with you. We're going to be filling in some areas we were a little weak on in our 2023 hearings, such as, on fertility and pregnancy. We've got a couple of witnesses on the World Health Organization. It's actually just as our hearings are starting, the WHO will have finished its meeting on whether or not to adopt the international health regulations. And so we're going to have a couple of experts speak on that, speak about what happened and what the ramifications are for you. So we're really excited. But even more so, we're excited, and I'm personally excited about the lay witnesses. For those of you that watched the 2023 hearings, you'll agree with me, it was the lay witnesses. And I didn't appreciate before the hearings started how much I would be affected just by listening to the voices of other Canadians. And it didn't matter where they stood on the COVID issues, whether they were vaxxed or unvaxxed, or what their feelings were about whether the government was right or wrong. That didn't matter at all. It was just something about hearing each other's voices. There was something about having the permission to come together again, and the bravery of the witnesses. And it's interesting, some of the lay witnesses are apprehensive to testify even now in 2024, because we still don't have an open conversation about COVID. The mainstream media still isn't covering the issue in a fair way. And it's curious, we had done a survey to ask Canadians, what do you want us to hold hearings on? And it was overwhelming COVID. So these are pressing issues, and we need to get the words out, and we need your help to get the word out. This is going to be, these set of hearings is just going to be fantastic. But we've always faced censorship. It's just, excuse me, it's the nature, it seems, of the NCI is to have to overcome adversity. The mainstream media is not going to touch us. They're going to censor us by admission. It's happening. It happened in 2023, and it's happening now. And the social media channels, the hurdle we had then and that we had now is we are being shadow banned. Full stop. We're being, censored by shadow banning. What has changed now, and I'll explain to you, is just a surprising new area of censorship that we didn't anticipate, but it's just a matter of us overcoming. And I think it's helpful for us to remember how we overcame last year. Excuse me. Last year in 2023, we were just so rushed to get things going. We didn't even have our social media channels set up until a couple of months before the hearings. We had a volunteer call in, set up our Twitter account and other accounts. And then we had some other volunteers come in and help manage. And then we hired one of those volunteers as a contractor because we just saw the need. We need somebody. First we hired them almost full-time, and then very quickly full-time. And it was like post, do paid ads. Let's get the word out there. Because the whole purpose of setting up these social media channels was so that we could drive people to watch the hearings. That's what we were doing. But with the shadow banning, all this posting and paid ads, it wasn't enough. And so you remember at the hearings, I would be begging you, please, if you're on social media, repost, get it out there. We're being shadow banned, and it's essential that we have, again, excuse me, it's essential that we have people watching these hearings. And you did. And I even asked, if you weren't on social media, open an account and start reposting. Let's get the word out. And you did. In 2023, we actually had volunteer teams form. We had teams form of clippers. Like literally, we had hundreds of people clipping the videos to create content to get posted on social media. We had volunteers start social media groups to be getting the word out and creating forums where people could learn about the NCI and watch our hearings. So we did it before, and we can do it again. All that's changed, this kind of third form of censorship, which we didn't anticipate. And again, it's just the NCI is all about overcoming hurdles. So don't worry about this. But what surprised me is so we all contributed to creating these social media channels to drive people to the hearings. But, we lost control over those social media channels. And I'm not going to name names, but there's another group saying they're the NCI, and they're not. And they took control of the social media channels. But, actions speak louder than words. Those social media channels were set up by volunteers like you and I, and we all participated in building the followings and pushings, and they are not telling anyone about the hearings. So what the hurdle is we created these followings of people that actually would want to know about the hearings. And, the followers of those social media channels are the people that would repost and get the word out. But because those in control of those social media channels just simply will not share the hearings, they will not use those channels for their purposes, and they will not live stream the hearings. So in a 2023 hearings, we had used those channels to live stream the hearings. Well, that's not going to happen. So it's just another handicap. But okay, when we write the annals of the NCI, it's just going to be at every turn. We have hurdles to overcome. And so we just, once again, need your help. And this is simple. We'll do it. We'll get the world watching these hearings. We'll privilege these witnesses, both expert and lay, that, are sacrificing to share truthful information with you, sacrificing to share their story. So once again, we need you. If you're on social media, please go to the proper NCI social media channels. I'll tell you exactly where to find them, and they're going to be at the end of this email. But post and repost. And if you're not on social media, open up a social media channel or two and post and repost. And just think of other ways. Tell people about the hearings. We will be live streaming them on the official NCI site. And this has been our website since the fall of 2022. That's never changed. nationalcitizensinquiry.ca. Just think of .ca for Canada. I'm ashamed that I have to tell you .ca because there's an impersonation site, but that's just the way it is. But our site has always been .ca for Canada. That's never changed. We list our official social media channels on the .ca site. So for those of you who have social media channels where you can repost, go to the .ca site. The proper social media channels are there. We got a lot of people confused about donating. And some people have said, well, we're not going to donate anymore because we don't know who's who. .ca, donate. But something else has come to our attention because we've had people who, I want to support the NCI. I know hearings are coming up. I want to help fund them. And so they want to e-transfer. And they, when I e-transfer, I log into my bank and I have a list of payees. Well, if you've transferred to us in the past, you have to delete your National Citizens Inquiry payee. It doesn't go to us. I can't tell you where it goes, but it doesn't go to us. And so you actually have to delete that payee and create a new payee based on the information on the .ca donate site. We're sorry that this is what's happening, but again, we just overcome this stuff. And then again, so if you want to watch the live streaming, they're going to be on some of our official channels and on our website. And so the last thing I want to ask you to do is watch the hearings yourself live. May 30th, 31st, and June 1st. I've said it before of every hearing. You watch a day and you will not, like an entire day, and you will not be the same again. You just can't. And there's something about watching it as it happens live, as we have the mistakes, as We transition from witness to witness, as fire alarms go off, as the power goes out, as thing after thing happens. That's part of the experience. And there's just something about watching those witnesses put it on the line under oath. It's the only forum in the world where these witnesses are consistently put under oath and questions by lawyers and then questioned by independent commissioners. It's going to be exciting. So thank you for your help in advance, and thank you for privileging the witnesses by participating with watching.